Edmonton, local breaking news with Miriam Valdez.
I am hoping that our leader does get back in, even though I will say that I'm not the happiest that they don't necessarily live in this riding or have never.
Yeah, I suspect the NDP will win this one handily, and it'll allow Nenshi actually to take a seat in the legislature, which would be nice.
Voters in Edmonton are having their say in 2 of 3 by-elections in Alberta. The polls closed earlier this evening. Good evening. The by-elections were held in Edmonton Strathcona and in Edmonton Ellerslie, which could be a tight race between the NDP and UCP.
Conservative Party. Yeah, I just agree with their values.
I think I will vote for NDP.
UCP will going to win this one.
Voting for the same party, even though I don't know too much about the candidate.
The seat in Edmonton Ellerslie was previously held by NDP candidate Rod Loyola. He resigned to run in the federal election. The NDP hope Gurtej Singh Brar is a match for former Conservative MLA Naresh Bardwaj, who held the seat from 2008 to 2015. One political consultant we spoke with says it'll likely be a tight race and results could determine the future of the new Democratic Party.
It would be a surprise to me if they lost this seat. If the NDP holds on to it, shows that they remain strong in the city, in their core voters. If they lose it here, it's not a good sign for them, right? It shows that in their fortress, they're losing support, and they can't afford to do that as they build towards the next provincial election.
Voting in the Edmonton Ellerslie riding opened late this morning, which meant polls were open until 8:19 tonight. In southern Alberta, people are also voting in Old Didsbury Three Hills riding. The leader of the Republican Party of Alberta is taking a run at that seat. And we'll have the latest results on our website at ctvnewsedmonton.ca. And a local daycare worker is facing assault charges. RCMP have charged 21-year-old Navam Sharma with 5 counts of assault. RCMP say officers responded to complaints at Emerald Park Daycare in Sherwood Park 2 months ago. They identified 5 victims between 5 and 8 years old. Emerald Park Daycare says Sharma worked there for 2 weeks. However, police say the assaults happened over a 3-week period between mid-March and early April. Sharma is expected in court in July. The EPS homicide unit is investigating a woman's death in southwest Edmonton. Police were called about an injured woman inside a home in the Chappelle neighborhood this morning. Police say she was in medical distress. Paramedics tried to save her, but she died there. Investigators consider her death suspicious. A 19-year-old man has died after crashing his motorcycle early Sunday morning. It happened at 49A Street and Millwoods Road just after 1:30 a.m. Police say the driver lost control of the motorcycle before hitting a curb and a tree. Police believe the driver was speeding. And some members of Edmonton's Iranian community say they are dealing with many emotions watching the conflict unfolding back home. And while they don't want to see airstrikes, some tell CTV News they hope this leads to a regime change. CTV's Nirman Issa reports.
At this Iranian restaurant on White Ave, kebabs and rice are being served up with a side of politics. Customers are talking about the escalating tensions between Iran and Israel.
Yeah, we don't want to fight with anyone. We don't want wars.
Salar Melli came to Canada in 2009. His mom is still in Iran. He says he hasn't been able to reach her in days due to the government shutting down the internet.
She lives in a city that's been hit, but, we can get some messages out very periodically, so I know they're safe for now.
It's been 11 days since Iran and Israel started trading airstrikes. Some from Edmonton's Iranian community say while they don't want to see parts of their country reduced to rubble, they do want to see the government toppled.
I hope this regime falls really fast because people of Iran have no problem with anybody in the West, or I think people of Iran are very kind of want Iran to be a modern country.
This man has been glued to the news reports from back home. He hopes the conflict leads to change.
We were so upset, and worried. Yeah, always they heard the bombing and all of this is the Iranian government fault.
This Iranian activist says the conflict has brought on conflicting thoughts for many Iranians.
One strong viewpoint is that the Islamic regime must end, and they are wanting an end to this tyranny at all costs, this war included. And then there is another group that is opposed to foreign country invading Iran and strongly believe that no democracy will be achieved unless it comes from social movements and change being carried out by the people of Iran.
An Iranian community worried for loved ones back home as the tensions and the strikes escalate. Naranisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
And we also heard from the University of Alberta today. The school says it's aware of 19 U of A students currently in Iran. It says multiple other students have made their way to the Iranian border, while others have plans to travel to Turkey. And RCMP say a 6-year-old who disappeared from his home in Cold Lake Sunday has been found dead. Police put out a notice about the missing boy just before 8 o'clock Sunday night. It said he was last seen around 5 that afternoon. An RCMP update after midnight said the boy was found dead. Police say the death is not considered suspicious and they will not release the cause. A man who survived last week's rock slide in Banff has identified his friend as the second victim. Khaled Agamel says this is one of the last pictures he took of his friend Hamza Ben Hallo. It was taken the day before the rock slide that killed the 33-year-old from BC and a 70-year-old woman from Calgary. The friends immigrated to Canada in 2022 to get their MBAs and were roommates in Surrey. They were vacationing in Calgary and Banff for a week. A hotel guest suggested visiting Bow Lake. Khaled says they hiked up the falls and took these photos seconds before he described hearing and seeing part of the mountain give way.
He still tried to save me. He did scream out loud, telling me to run, and that's kind of like what helped me get back on to my senses and start running, because I was like in a shock and I thought it seemed like a movie scene, just seeing rocks coming from the sky there.
Khaled says Hamza's brother is flying in from Morocco to try and bring his body back home. RCMP have charged an 18-year-old after finding guns during a search earlier this month. Police say the organized crime team found a number of guns at the home in Marwayne, just north of Lloydminster. Officers believe at least some of the guns were stolen, and the accused was trying to sell the guns illegally online. He's facing firearms-related charge, including weapons trafficking. Alberta Health is confirming 2 new cases of measles in the Edmonton zone. That brings the total in Edmonton since the outbreak started to 9. The increase comes after warnings of several exposures in and around the city. The Edmonton cases are 2 of 30 new cases since Friday. Province-wide, a total 1,050 cases have now been confirmed. The majority of measles cases in Alberta have been in unvaccinated children. A new event park besides Rogers Place is complicating the debate around a special tax program downtown. Council is deciding whether to extend the community revitalization levy that would boost investment in the core. Right now, that includes investments from public money for projects on land owned by the Oilers Entertainment Group. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Alex Dakota Park opened downtown in 2017. Community green space paid for through a special tax program called a community revitalization levy.
We see this as a large benefit for the downtown community.
Since 2015, the CRL has funded parks, infrastructure upgrades, and other so-called catalyst projects downtown. The city says they've helped generate nearly $5 billion worth of investment and development, including towers, the arena, and LRT. But after the pandemic interrupted that momentum, council is considering a 10-year extension, which business leaders and downtown boosters say is vital.
We're talking about $550 million in tax uplift that is coming that will be lost without the extension.
One of the projects in line for city funding if the CRL is extended is this event park beside Rogers Place, plus some site servicing for homes north of the arena, all on land owned by the Oilers Entertainment Group.
This is not about the fan park. One councillor is making this about the fan park. This is about downtown Edmonton and the entire city's fiscal sustainability over the next 20 years. years.
The owners can pay for it themselves. They don't need Edmontonians to pay for this. We have a lot of other priorities that we need to pay for.
The provincial government has committed nearly $130 million to the Ice District projects if the city pitches in millions of public dollars through the CRL.
The province and the Oilers Entertainment Group setting up this deal and then sharing it with Edmontonians. This is not how this should go.
Jans would like to put the event park funding to Edmontonians in a referendum, separating it from the CRL debate, a tax program he otherwise sees as beneficial as it would help build transit, bridges, beautification on Jasper Ave, and more. The event park is expected to be front and center in a public hearing at City Hall Thursday. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
A junior high school student is defying her medical condition, competing for a school sports team. It's thanks in part to the people in her life and at her school. CTV's Evan Kenny has the story.
Go ahead. It's an unorthodox way to do archery, but this is the system Kaya and her principal have come up with. They have to shoot like this because the grade 9 student has arthrogryposis multiplex congenita and clubbed hands and feet. AMC affects people's joints, often fixing them in one position.
When I was born, my legs were curved inwards like that, so I had a few surgeries to straighten my legs out.
She says she always wanted to play a sport, but the condition makes even simple daily tasks a challenge.
Can't walk long distances without feeling tired. Like even just walking to school, and I live like 5 minutes away, it's a lot of effort just because my legs aren't that strong.
I've had the opportunity to kind of see her go through for some of her challenges and how she's overcome things.
They've been a dynamic duo for the past 5 years, creating a special bond, even comparing themselves to cartoon characters SpongeBob and Patrick.
I'm Patrick.
Competing in archery comes with its own learning curve, let alone tag teaming it, but eventually they hit the bullseye. No shock to the people closest to Kaya.
She's such a thirst for life. Like, she just wants to do things, and it's...
And she's a go-getter. Like, she just... nothing stops her.
Holding a bow and watching an arrow whiz by isn't typically in a principal's job description, but Les Worthington says he's happy to do it to make her feel like she belongs.
When you're building school culture, you want every kid to feel like they're a part of something.
He has looked out for her like another parent.
It makes me feel like very supported and happy that I have someone who trusts me and believes in me.
Next Monday is AMC Day, bringing awareness to the condition, but every day Kaya is bringing awareness to the fact the condition is not holding her back. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Works Art and Design Festival is back at Churchill Square for its 40th year. For the next 11 days, indoor and outdoor spaces across Edmonton will transform into interactive art exhibits. The festival has partnered with more than 18 art galleries, venues, and events to expand beyond the festival grounds. This year's theme is Groundworks.
If you take a look around, you're going to see a lot of tree sculptures, some flower sculptures, some garden pieces, a lot of very nature-influenced work that relates directly to groundworks.
The Works in Art Festival includes exhibitions of all shapes and sizes, hands-on activities, and live music performances. It's free and open to all ages. The owner of a 1951 Lincoln Cosmopolitan got a look at this restored ride this weekend.
It looks spectacular, right? Like the flying bird and with the gold and the silver, and I mean they went right through the car. Every little piece was massaged and brought up to an amazing level.
Ron Leons has been working with NAIT students to restore vehicles for about 20 years. He says he's impressed by the students' latest efforts. NAIT says this was one of 60 convertibles the Canadian government purchased for Princess Elizabeth during a trip to Canada before she became queen. Leons plans to drive it to car shows this summer, and it will then go on display at his Golf Country Club's car museum. Coming up next, how the city is preparing to celebrate Canada Day next week. And also just ahead, the Edmonton Elks hoping some homegrown players will help the team find success.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a real treat to play in front of the fans, and I hope they're as excited as we are.
Good evening, folks. Another day with temperatures below 20 for a daytime high, just 15 degrees in Edmonton. Should be back into the low to mid-20s over the next couple of days, though. More showers and thunderstorms in the forecast as well. We'll get into all that in just a few minutes.
The The Edmonton Elks are on the road on Thursday looking for their first win of the season. The team is trying to return to former glory, both on the field and in the community. As CTV's Evan Kenny reports, they're hoping local players can help them do it.
Has had a quiet day.
He may not be a household name, but David Beard has a hand in on every Elks touchdown this season. He's back anchoring the offensive line after spending the past 2 seasons with the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a real treat to play in front of the fans, and I hope that they're as excited as we are.
The Sherwood Park product played in Edmonton between 2015 and 2022.
And going through the years and having ups and downs, and then coming here and being just as excited about this year it's a treat.
That same excitement is being felt by 2 other locals. Josiah Shackle and Mark Cordy grew up watching the Double E's win Grey Cups. Shackle is from Sherwood Park, while Cordy was born in Spruce Grove.
As a kid, you always dream like, oh yeah, like I want to play for the Eskimos one day or the Elks now. But actually, like doing it's another thing.
While there's added pressure suiting up for the hometown team, the players say it's an honor to play live in front of friends and family.
It means a lot to me to play here. It's very important to me that this team is successful and that we have good results, especially at home.
Having Morris come in as president, really putting emphasis on family, that's been huge because I have my whole family here. It's great for them to come out to games.
After a few down years for the franchise that included a CFL record losing streak 2 seasons ago, they're excited to show a new and improved product on the field.
Let's go and show the city of Edmonton what it really means to play for this team.
The local players and the rest of the team take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on Thursday. They'll return home to host Ottawa the first weekend of July. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
Volunteers in Edmonton are spending some of their spare time pulling weeds. The city's weed pull program teaches people about invasive plants and how to manage them. One threat in our city is Japanese knotweed. The rapidly growing plant can invade cracks in houses, eventually damaging the foundation or worse.
Because they're so beautiful, I think people don't realize the impact that they can have. But these plants are really good at being plants. They produce a ton of seeds, or they spread really quickly, grow really quickly, and they outcompete our native plants. So they're reducing the biodiversity that should be here in Edmonton's River Valley.
Weed pull events take place every Saturday in different spots, and you can register on the City of Edmonton's website. Cooler temperatures and rain have helped tame the wildfire situation in most areas across Alberta. The province says fires in the northern region are expected to escalate in the next few days. According to the provincial dashboard, 49 wildfires are burning across the province. 19 are considered out of control. Alberta Wildfires says wildfires in northern Slave Lake and high-level forest areas did not get the same moisture as other parts of the province. It says many of the fires burning across the province are also burning underground. It says rain can help buy time, but it's not enough usually to put them out. Wildfire officials warn it's still early in the season with a lot of heat ahead.
It doesn't take much for that moisture to evaporate, so it buys us time, but we're still going to see fire danger increase in the coming weeks, especially as the heat of the summer really settles in. That's just to be expected.
Thunderstorms carry the potential to spark new fires. The province also says during a long weekend there is a spike in human-caused fires. They're also asking people to be cautious this Canada Day. And the city of Edmonton is getting ready for Canada Day. It says fireworks will be set off at 11 p.m. over the Central River Valley. It says great viewing locations around the River Valley include Victoria Park, Ezio Ferrone Park, and the Legislature grounds. No viewing will be allowed from Kinsman Park. The city is reminding drivers Canada Day fireworks will mean road closures in the area, which will lead to traffic a couple hours before and after the show. You can find those road closures on the City of Edmonton website. After the break, a Canadian making history on the basketball court.
It's just so hard to describe. I'm just totally amazed.
It's nice to hear a Hamilton boy winning it.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. Had some thunderstorms roll through early this morning. 8 degrees for a morning low, 3 degrees cooler than average. We'll be even chillier tomorrow morning, somewhere in the 5 or 6 range. 15, your daytime high, 7 degrees below average. I think we're back to 22 or 23, though, for a daytime high tomorrow, and should see even warmer temperatures as we make our way through the middle part of the week. There are some more showers and thunderstorms in the forecast, though. Tomorrow morning, need a chance of some showers here in northwestern Alberta. There is a slight chance around lunchtime. You might see a brief spotty shower in and around the city. I think most, probably all of this, stays north of Edmonton. The best chance for us here in Edmonton tomorrow is going to be tomorrow night through the afternoon hours. This is about 5 p.m. Peace Country, down through the foothills. We'll see some isolated thunderstorms, and those will track off to the east. And so there's a chance that 1 or 2 of these storms could maintain some intensity into the evening hours, and so late Tuesday night, chance of a little rumbler going through the Edmonton area. Mixed sun and cloud for Wednesday. This is going to be widely scattered, hit and miss showers and thunderstorms across central and northern Alberta. And so Wednesday afternoon, especially late afternoon, early evening, you might see a spotty shower or thunderstorm in the region. 4 degrees in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, 3 or 4 Cold Lake, Lloydminster. Coronation's close to the freezing mark. Handful of degrees above zero in Edmonton, Red Deer. A little milder there in Grand Prairie at 10. You get a chance of showers in the morning, then a risk of thunderstorms later in the day across the northwest. A little drier in the northeast, 21, and some sun in Fort McMurray, 18 in Lloydminster. Should get to about 21, 22 degrees in Red Deer and Coronation, and low 20s as well in Jasper. We'll be around 22 or 23 tomorrow. Breezy, wind to be gusting to about 30 kilometers per hour. 25 and 24 for highs Wednesday, Thursday. Every single day. I mean, it may not rain every day this week, but every day has at least a chance of some showers or thunderstorms. Most of that comes through the late afternoon or evening hours, except for Friday. Friday is a chance of some morning showers. Temperatures are rebounding back into the 20s over the next couple of days, but if that's not warm enough for you, just wait till next week. Daytime highs near 30 Monday, Tuesday of next week. That is your forecast.
It's a historic day for the International Olympic Committee as it welcomes new leadership.
We are the guardians of this incredible platform. And it's not just about a multi-sport event. It's a platform to inspire. It's a platform to change lives. And it's a platform to bring hope.
7-time Olympic medalist Christy Coventry took over leadership today in Switzerland. She's the first woman and first African to lead the committee. Coventry begins her 8-year term as the world's most powerful sports administrator tomorrow, following her election in March. And a giant of the basketball court with Canadian roots is once again making history. Ontario's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander helped the Oklahoma City Thunder capture their first NBA title last night. As CTV's Mike Walker reports, he has quickly become one of the league's biggest stars.
A giant image of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander proudly on display outside his former high school, Sir Alan McNabb. And there is civic pride today with the Hamilton native, now an NBA champion.
Proud to be a Hamiltonian. It's like he has wings, he can fly. It's just so hard to describe. I'm just totally amazed.
It's nice to hear a Hamilton boy winning it.
Gilgeous-Alexander led the way with 29 points as the Oklahoma City Thunder won their first NBA championship, defeating the Pacers 103-91 in Game 7.
Everything. That's why you play the sport. You play the sport to win.
The 26-year-old capturing the finals MVP, a first for a Canadian.
You're asking about what makes him, separates him probably from the bunch. I think that's it, is consistency and the discipline to get better.
His father calls this success a blessing after years of hard work and a strong support system.
Late nights in the gym, early mornings, trainers and coaches and all the people that helped us get here. You don't do that stuff by yourself.
Gilgeous-Alexander now enters an elite club, becoming only the 4th player in NBA history to win league MVP, finals MVP, the scoring title, and championship, all in the same season.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, and now Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So he's in great company, rare company. And look, I have seen enough to say with confidence that this is the greatest Canadian basketball player ever.
The way that he's representing Canada is just unbelievable.
Tim Francis was Gilgis Alexander's high school basketball coach and watched the finals beaming with pride.
Being an NBA champion, being an MVP of the finals, an MVP of the league, I don't think anybody saw that coming. But we did know that he was going to get to whatever his goals were.
He says Gilgis Alexander's success story on and off the court is a huge inspiration for young players.
Humble beginnings and hard work and what that can get you to, how that can pay off.
Only a dozen Canadian players have won an NBA title. Family and hometown fans hoping Gilgis Alexander will see much more success on the court. Mike Walker, CTV News, Hamilton.
And that's our show for this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back on the desk tomorrow night. See you then.